Hello, everyone. Delphi Group here with the weekly UOA recap. Um, we've had another amazing week here at Delphi, and the UOA channel again has been simply incredible. But before we get into that, we want to show you guys. We always say that nobody does what we do here. So what we mean by that when it comes to the UOA, which means unusual option activity, okay, there are platforms out there that supply option flow. There's many different platforms out there that give you the option flow all day. So what does that mean? Well, here is a look at the option flow that we get. Okay. Now, before I say this, let this sink in. Okay. We pay for our option flow data that we get the same amount that we charge here at Delphi for all the services we provide. Okay. So just let that sink in. What we pay for our data monthly equals what we charge here monthly for all our services, our trades, our education, crypto, day trading, everything. Okay. So just let that sink in for a minute. But what makes us different than anyone else? Okay. Yes, we get all the option flows that you can see here now. This was a snapshot of basically one page of the option flow. And what I want to highlight here is that if you look at the time stamp here, okay, on this page, the option flow started hitting at 3:43. Okay. We can see the page ended at 3:53. This is 10 minutes of option flow, only 10 minutes of option flow. So look at all this. I mean, according to this equates to about 2 to 3 option flow posts a minute. Okay. So again, this is 10 minutes. So think of how many we look at throughout the whole day. Okay. And what we do is we scan and we analyze the option flow and we post the relevant ones to our community in our UOA channel. Okay. So are those going to be 100% guaranteed winners? No, but what we are doing is parsing out the ones that could be something to look at for a trade. Okay. Nobody is doing this anywhere. Okay. I personally have been on many platforms and I've been doing this a long time, scanning the option flows. There's no platforms out there that are parsing them out and posting them for their community. What you're paying for is what we're paying for. You can see the data here. And basically, they give you the option flows and say, good luck, do what you want with it. So that is what we do here. We find, we scan, we analyze each option flow, and we post the relevant ones. Okay, so that again is why we are different than anyone else. So moving on to our Delphi room on Discord. I'm just going to highlight one day just because we don't want to keep putting out UOAs, keep crushing it, going through every day. But we want to show here one day on the 16th what happened. Okay. So a couple things happened here. I want to highlight basically here what happened in this window and actually down here as well. But okay. So in the morning, we had some micro strategy puts. Okay. We were short micro strategy before these even came through. So these give us more confidence, and we'll show you why we were short micro strategy. But also what we found very interesting, at the same time, somebody came in and they bought these UVXY calls and the SPY puts. They actually bought more SPY puts here about 10 minutes later. But why was this interesting? Because UVXY is a product of, it's a VIX product, a volatility product. So this is inversely related to the indexes. When the VIX goes up or the products go up, the markets go down, okay, and vice versa. So they came in and they bought these calls, okay, here that we can see for the next day. So these expired the next day, and they bought these calls. They were expensive, but we didn't buy these calls. You don't have to buy the UOA, the exact UOA. You can, trade other ones if you like the setup and the UOA makes sense, which these did. And then again, right at the same time, they bought these SPY puts for, again, the next day. Okay. They bought the 520 puts. Look at this, which were $12 out of the money for 85 cents. Okay. So again, this really alerted us to maybe something's going on here. And again, the UOA, especially the 0DTEs for the past month, have been just simply out of this world. I don't even think there's been a day where they have lost. But anyway, again, and they came in and they bought these 530s. Again, I'm not going to highlight these because obviously these did extremely well. But they came in and they bought these as well, 7,500 of those, roughly 2.6 million worth. Again, for the next day expiration. Okay, so if we go now to our chat, where we post a lot of our activity here. If we go to the, we are here on the 16th, and let me find, okay, so here we are, and what you can see here, again, before those, the MSTR UOAs came through, we shorted MSTR 297 puts at $1.80. Okay. And we highlighted this was going to be a day trade. We did not want to hold overnight. Okay. And why were we looking at puts before the UOA came through? Remember, they came through and they bought bearish puts because we were looking at this setup here. We identified resistance here on MicroStrategy. There was this wedge, and you can see we had prior resistance ended up going lower. So we felt like this was a shorting opportunity and a good risk reward setup with our stop above 320. Okay, so this is why we were in puts before the UOA came through. Okay, and you're going to see we cashed those out for over $4 later in the day. But anyway, if we look lower, and again, this is another reason why, because we're doing technical analysis, the volume going up, and volume going down as the stock's going up is bearish. Okay, that's a leading indicator. So that was another reason why we entered puts. But then if we look lower here again, what we did is we posted in the chat, we played the SPY UOA at 80 cents, and we also bought 528s for the same price. So we bought 528s for 80 cents and the SPY, the 520s for 80 cents. Okay. And then we also bought UVXY calls for $1.20 following both those. Why? Because again, the stock, if we go to our charts channel here, okay, you can see UVXY was looking bullish. So the UOA makes sense. Okay. So that looked bullish to us, which is why we took that trade. And we have to scroll down here. Leviathan's in here posting trades over the weekend and crushing it. But if we go down now again to where we took those trades, we took those, remember, at 80 cents, and the UVXY is at $1.20. Okay, so if I scroll down, we'll show what those did on the chart. And here we're cashing out, some winners. And then, so if we go a little lower here, if we can find the, I just want to find where we closed out the MSTR. So you can see here, we closed out the MSTRs at 410. We bought those at 180. Kaboom, right? So that was really great. And then I just noticed that also they bought these Qs. These were 0DTEs on the 16th. They bought these at 53 cents, and those already doubled in 10 minutes. You can see that here again. And Steve said he crushed it. So that was awesome for the community. But Let's go to see what those SPY puts did. Okay, here we go. Simply incredible. These are the 520s. We posted the trade at 80 cents. Those got as high as 515. Okay, complete rocket ship. You can see that. I mean, yes, we scaled out on the way up as we always do, but again, those hit 515 from when we posted the trade at 80 cents. Okay, and then also looking at the 528s, here are the 528s. Again, posted the trade at 80. Those got over 760. Okay, just an incredible and a complete explosion higher from the time we entered at 80 cents. And of course, we're scaling out on the way up, but those got over a high over 760 again in the same day, okay, off of the UOA. So simply incredible stuff here. We keep crushing it. Again, nobody does what we do here at Delphi. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a great holiday weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.